Hi everyone, welcome to the Yandina Five'O wrap up from 2025. How you going, mate?
Yeah, good, Bretto. I'm slowly getting some feeling back in my feet. Starting to defrost.
It was a pretty chilly one, wasn't it? I mean, it was a completely different experience for us at Run Queensland, setting up on the cold Friday night, very cold Saturday morning.
Yeah. I think I heard somebody say they're like, "Oh, this is not even as this is colder than Rainbow even." I was like, yeah, it's heaps colder than Rainbow.
Yeah.
Somebody else mentioned it was maybe 4 degrees for the start of the 21k. So those 50k's arriving early, they would have felt it. Yeah. All good.
And as that sun started to rise though, and that day was just perfect for running though. I mean, it's great running conditions.
What a day. Yeah, I don't think we could have asked for better than that.
Yeah, we've already had a little bit of feedback around that, which will be interesting. We've sent the survey out to the runners that have attended, so it'd be great if everyone gets on there and gives us their thoughts and their feelings about the day, so that we can sort of process that and, you know, possibly come up with change of dates or whatever, depending on what people feel and think. So yeah, from our perspective, it was a lot easier to manage the day without too much heat stress or anything like that. And it's not really something around Queensland we've experienced much of, because most of our races are in warmer parts of the year.
Yeah, there was, look, I'll be surprised if there's more than 10 people that want to run it in March. I spoke to a couple of New South Welshmen and a lady from Victoria, and they were coming back if it's in June. So, so yeah, it attract a different crowd, or a bigger crowd, and bring some new people into the community. That'll be cool.
Yeah, it was a great day. Mate, just look at these shirts, they're fantastic.
Mate, Win
So
Republic,
good.
shout out to Win Republic.
Yeah, great quality. They're just so light on. So, and the colours are amazing. So, yeah, really good.
Colours were good. Quick story about the colours. We were sitting having a catch-up pizza and a ginger beer, and the colour scheme or palette or whatever was on the menu, and Megan spotted it, and she's like, "These are the colours." So we adjusted them slightly, but yeah, that's where the colour pattern palette comes from. A menu at a pub somewhere.
It's amazing. So good. Mate, do you want to go through some results? We had some pretty good fast results there. There's some good running. I mean, the track, the conditions for the trail were amazing. I mean, we got to mark the trail and get out there and have a go on it, and it was just, for me, it was stunning. I've been there and enjoyed that trail, but to see it in those conditions was amazing. There was, you know, no slippery rocks, and I mean, our DNF rate basically showed what the trail conditions, and I think we only had 5 did not finish out of the whole field. It's amazing. But we had some amazing results. You want to shoot through a few of them?
Yeah, we'll start on the 50k, right? We'll do the 50k ladies first. This was a new name for me on the top of the podium, Amber Rowlandson. I had a brief interaction with Amber at the finish line while we were trying to organise the presentations, and she could blow a candle out. She was looking fresh and well recovered. She ran 4:52:35, so sub 5 hour 50k, so with a fair bit of climbing, so it was a cracking run. And then a couple of Run Queensland regulars, Buha Bali from Wild Earth, and who's also a Black Hole 100 champion, as well as defending Black Hole 100 champion Dom Ryan. They diced it out for second and third, being a minute apart in the end, with 5:02 and a 5:03 for Dom. So yeah, great running by the ladies.
It'd be interesting to have a chat with Dom when we get a chance, just to sort of see what her feelings are like running for her with the cold. And I mean, she clearly likes the heat after watching her at the Black Hole 100 last year. So it'd be interesting to see what her thoughts are around the cold running as opposed to warm running, because she really handled that well at Blackhall. So I mean, she's had a great run there. But, you know, interesting.
Buha mentioned the cold too, so I think she might have found it hard to get going.
Yeah.
In the men's, David Russell took out the win in a new course record of 4:18:29. I mentioned to him that I think he was about 5 or 6 minutes ahead of Sean Petit's time from last year, and he corrected me. He knew exactly what his time was. So he's like, nope, it was 4:20. So he got him by nearly a couple of minutes there. So he obviously knew what he was up to. Another Blackall 100 defending champ, Liam Theron's in second, ran a 4:30.16. And then Michael Fenwick with a 4:47. So
interesting to note with Liam too. I had a bit of a yarn with him before the event. He's basically come off a month of pretty much no running, with a bit of lead up. I suppose this is a lead up for him to the Gold Coast Marathon. So he's been coming off the flu and stuff like that. And he was sort of like, we were chatting about sometimes it's nice to have a bit of a rest.
Yeah.
Leading into an event when you're kind of a bit run down. And I think he's proven that.
Yeah,
it's a good thing. It mightn't have been the exact time he wanted to run, but I mean, bloody hell, you can only dream about running. Well, I can only dream about running those times. So
yeah, we were talking about
a 25k.
Talking about having a bit of a break. I was chatting to the 36k men's champ. So in the 36k we had Jordan Ryan in first place in a new record of 3:09, followed by Chad Bryan in what is that, 8, not 8, sorry, my eyes have got me there, 3:21, and in third Will Carrot in 3:26. And Jordan was saying how he was primed for March, he'd been working hard on it, and then went on a 3-week European holiday with his family, so wasn't getting too much running in, but that good break and probably a long taper did him pretty good.
Yeah, good, nice recoveries and stuff. There's another shout out to Chad too. He's going through a little bit of stuff with one of his brothers has leukemia, and he was sharing about that, and you kind of get to hear some of the stories of people, and there was a part of him that was kind of out there just for that break to run, and he's a great runner, and he's a really lovely young fellow, but a big shout out to him. Who's going through a few of those things with his family.
Yeah, we're thinking of you, Chad.
Yeah.
In the ladies, first lady home in the 36k, Monica King, also sub 4 hours, 3:55. Rihanna Matheson, 4:11, and in third place, Elizabeth Nell in 4:16. I think Monica's time was a record too. Let me just confirm that for you.
We had 4 course records for, I believe.
Yes.
For the 8.
Yeah, it's a 50k male course record, and then the 36k men's and women's record fell. So great running by everyone. All right, let's get quickly into the 21k. I think we were all taken by surprise when Simon Hearn turned up at the finish line in the half marathon.
Oh, geez, we were still setting up. We were sort of shocked when we seen someone running back around the finish chute.
Yeah,
far out.
He's had a cracking run to take out the win there in an hour 40. Rob Caudle in an hour 43, and Joshy Corcoran in an hour 46. So I know the three of them were pushing hard up Carroll Break. I heard a few stories about that, and saw Simon Hearn took out the Strava crown for the fastest climb up Carroll.
That'd be just outside the record, I believe. I'm pretty sure
it was outside,
Brian
yeah.
Wilder's maybe done a 1:39, so it might have just been outside. So yeah,
no doubt he was chasing that. I think Simon comes from a triathlon background, and he has the goat loop at Parklands. He has the goat loop fastest time. He's a great runner.
Maybe we could do that. I'll pass the watch to you or something, and you continue on. Could we do that or not?
Oh yeah, I'll get an e-bike.
Okay.
And then in the ladies, with the win, we had Sarah Martin in 2:06, closely followed by Belle Williams in 2:08.56, and Hannah Sudal taking third place in 2:09.59. Those three names we hear a fair bit on podiums around Southeast Queensland, so some speedy ladies. Congrats to the three of them.
Belle's the 21k champion at the moment at Blackall.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. And she's getting more and more into her trail running.
Yeah.
So thanks to Liam.
Once you've been to trail, it's a long road back, mate.
And then in the 12k, we'll do the ladies first. We had Beck Chidlow taking out the win in an hour 21. Almel Briant, I hope that has not been butchered. Sprint finish here in an hour 21 and 15 seconds. So 9 seconds separating first and second. And then Karen Prain, an hour 24:37.
Oh yeah,
so,
that's right. They were going at it.
Yeah,
towards the finish.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a few collapsed women there at the end of that one. That was a ripper.
I feel like there was it was a sprint for third and fourth as well. So
Yeah, there was a few of them going on. It was pretty cool to watch some of that.
Great running, ladies. And then Jake Berg, he really took us by surprise here. He's the guy that turned up in 59 minutes in the 12K, and that's a new record. I think he's the first one to go under the hour. At the same time, Dion Allen in second place, 59.59. So Dion will be pretty stoked with that, I think.
He looked pretty good at the end of that too. I seen him coming across the line, and yeah, he looks like he's really come on, and
he's been
running in the last bit. Yeah,
he's been putting in some hard work.
Yeah, paying off.
And then Lachlan Landy rounding out the podium, an hour and 21 seconds. So only a minute separated first and third there. So it's some pretty feisty racing, fellas. Well done.
Yeah, it was good trail for that there too. There wasn't any of that slippery rock there that you can get at times. So yeah, there was a lot of positives with that kind of weather leading up to it. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, and then I'll just tap on one more result here. If I can get it on the screen. Just bear with me, but I want to give a shout out to... Tell us the story while I'm looking, Bretto. Shout out to Jeff Pierce, who was rounded out the field in a cracking time, still 10 hours 51. So we've got a 12-hour cutoff there, and
you got those volleys out there, mate. How amazing they were. CP1 with the Silver Fox guys with their hoodies on.
Yeah, the hoodies, oofies, them in mobile blankets, but they're known for their merch, and they were looking good out there. So yeah, shout out to them. It wasn't CP1, mate. Gav will be on to you. That was a water stop.
Oh yes, water stop. Sorry.
CP1 is
up the hill
at the top of Carroll.
Then we go to those guys, and that was Sunco and Her Trails.
Yeah, it was a bit of a combined effort. Sunco, Her Trails. There might have even been a few other Namble Park runners in there. Just a mixed bag.
Jamie Mack was up there.
Jamie was up there running the show. The Silver Fox and them got the brunt of the cold weather because they were up there.
Well, they were there early.
6:30 a.m. So it was pretty fresh up there, I believe.
Yeah.
So yeah, Her Trails. First time they've come on board with some assistance and volunteering, so we're stoked to have them come and join us. They are a ladies-only group, or I think they're ladies only, but they another Sunny Coast chapter run in parklands on the weekends, maybe on a Saturday or Sunday morning. They have a group run. Down on the Gold Coast, Gemma Hill organises the girls down there, so it's a real good community that's been building over the last few years, founded by endurance legend Sam Gash. So yeah, great initiative, and maybe we'll see them helping out at a few more events if they're not running.
Nice.
Yeah, big thanks.
Yeah, then we had the water stop with the BTR ladies with Jodie Huville and Lyndall Fletcher. There might have been someone else there, so I apologise. As my mind's a bit vacant, still a bit tired. Still,
I saw Leanne and Linda and
we're getting to them.
Oh, they weren't there.
They were at a different checkpoint. So then we went to CP2, which was Sunny Coast Trail Chicks. Yeah. Lauren Dawson, Jackie, Michelle. They're amazing. They just love trail. And what they bring there, I noticed some of the Zooper Doopers went, not many with that weather, but yeah, a few Zooper Doopers went. They were at the halfway mark, and they were brilliant, looking out for the runners there. Then they went around to Coolulaban Dam, and the lovely Adele was there, I'm sure, with her big gigantic smile at around the 28k mark, cheering everyone on.
I believe she put on a bit of a dance party out there too.
Oh,
I heard
yeah.
some rumours of some dancing. So.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Gav would have roadied that. And then we went over through to CP3 at Coolabin Trailhead, and that was Linda, her husband Simon, and I've gone blank.
Leanne was there.
Leanne. Yeah, so the three of those guys ran that, and they said that it was just a nice constant flow all day of runners, and they had a really lovely day out there. And and then back through to the guys at the Silver Fox again on the way back home.
And then we had Howie, Chrissy,
Tom,
Tamika, Faz.
Yep.
We're all sweeping. There was
yeah.
somebody else sweeping with Howie and Chrissy, and I apologise.
Jen. Yeah, so
the Loose and Nutters. So,
yep. So it was brilliant. So great team of people. And then we had our volleys, and there was always the great music with Ben and his energy on the mic. Your beautiful son Spencer. I mean, he was going all day, and Ryan's son that does the brewing, Bo, he was there helping set up and just wanted more jobs, and it's just really nice to see that they enjoy the energy that's there.
We had some of the on the run crew helping at bib pickup on Saturday morning along with Kristen. Who else was there?
Well, we had
Cora was there,
and then the guys at parking. You forget how many people are involved with this thing.
Yeah.
You had Niall and his daughter Maya, my son Noah. You had the two young lads from the QCCC, Eli and Joshua, that came out. At bloody 4:15 in the morning to wave those Darth Vader wands around, bringing people in, and you kind of just first aid volunteers. We had Jo up at checkpoint 1, and then after she's finished there, she comes around to Browns Creek Road to make sure that everyone's right. And then you had Helen, Louise and Sean at the finish line looking after, and there was a couple of people that were in a little bit of trouble. I mean, Phil was buckled over.
Yeah.
And they just saw him, and I seen him sitting there. I think he was having a beer about an hour later.
He was.
And he just felt better, and they're just amazing. They understand what the runners are kind of going through. They see it. They've taught us a lot too about first aid, and I'm really grateful that we've got such beautiful people in and around our events. Not to mention the RQ team, you, Rory, Gav, who's been there for such a long time. We were chatting about our ages the other day, and I said, "What are you, about 63?" He said, "I'm 64." As he's slinging a friggin' pop top 10 over his shoulder. I mean, you forget that we're still slinging all this stuff, and I mean, me and you are going to unpack shortly some more bloody gear, and it's Monday now, and we've been there yesterday unpacking. I think it's nice for people to hear how much time and effort and people give of themselves because they just love the trail. And I feel really I guess blessed is probably the word that comes into mind, to be able to share my love of the trail with so many different people, and that so many people are involved around that. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it was obviously fun setting that race up twice this year. All the markers went out. Also, like a shout out to Dom and Nigel, who went out after Yandina version 1 back in March, and they cleared a bunch of tags for us. And then Rory and I went out and got some, and then yourself and Gav and Adele went out and got a few more. So yeah, thanks to the Nigel and Dom for helping us out there. And then change the subject, but I want to skip back because you mentioned the parking, and just thanks to everybody for playing the game and adhering to our parking requirements. There was still about, I think, between 8 and 12 of you who thought that you didn't need to follow the rules, but you did turn around and head back to the parking when we asked you. So yeah, it's super important for the running of the event and the future of the event that those sorts of things get followed. We don't do it to make it more difficult. We do it because it's a necessity. So thanks to everyone that helped out.
And it's like it's a really great point to touch on, because that event is based on the parking to start with. Because if that's a balls up, the rest of the day doesn't flow good for people.
Yeah.
And the minute people started to come there was only a couple, or about what you said, about 8 or something, that come to the gate to drop off. By dropping them up there, it made 2 minutes difference really. It blocks that driveway for buses coming in, and it creates all sorts of problems. And because there wasn't so many people that did that, the buses were just cruising in and out all day, and it just flowed tremendously. So thanks to everyone for just helping us out and being a part of the solution to the problem with parking, by going and parking there and being really cool with all the guys that were parking. When I said Niall's daughter, she's 14 years old. She was the person at the gate first off with the lightsaber, just directing people in. And she was saying that, everyone was so nice. And I thought it's really great that when we kick the day off like that and we can just flow through together. And I felt like it reflected that. So from my perspective, that's my favourite one.
Sets the tone, doesn't it? Like, if you're not parking there, we've got to deal with it at the gate. We're starting off grumpy, and that's just going to have a flow-on effect. So anyway, enough of that. Thanks for playing the game with us. Yeah,
and I think the other, it was easily my favourite Yandina now. I mean, it's just been very difficult with the weather the whole time, and that was just amazing.
I've got a story for you.
Yeah, tell us one.
So, our good friends from Marty's crew from On The Run up in Mackay, who come and support Yandina every year since it's been on. Marty brought a crew down to the inaugural event in 2021, 2021 and 22. Yeah, there you go. And at about the 25k mark, Tracy and Craig met on the course and have been together ever since as a couple. And they came down in March to do the race, and they stayed at a caravan park or some cabins like on the Maruchi River somewhere in Yandina, and we're having a sleep apparently, and the manager came knocking on the door, and Craig opened the door and he was in the tinny. The river had come up and they had to be evacuated from their accommodation by boat in March thanks to the flooding. And anyway, long story short, they came back to run the 21. Craig was injured in March and couldn't run, but he had recovered enough to be able to run the 21 with Tracy, and they got engaged at Point Glorious halfway through their 21k. So I got goosebumps talking about that. I've talked about it a few times, but yeah, so pretty cool that the postponement could obviously result in that.
A postponement resulted in
an engagement. Yeah, so he had enough time to make sure that he was certain and also do the training. And we're yet to confirm whether the wedding reception will be at the finish line on in 2026, but there'll be a celebration of some sort going on anyway. So
yeah, really, that was one of those lovely moments that we sort of started filtering down from Point Glorious down to us at the finish line, that someone had got engaged. We kind of thought we knew who it was. But yeah, it really holds a special place for these guys, and you feel pretty cool being able to, I guess, if that race wasn't there, if that concept hadn't flown on from the night. It's funny, those sliding door moments, you sit and reflect and you think, wow, like, they probably would never have met. And then all of a sudden, because of this event, it happened. So, mate, the other thing I think I'd like to touch on
congratulations.
Congratulations, Craig and Tracy. That's amazing. Is the, if we reflect back to March, you talked about that flooding. And it was quite difficult to take a lot of the calls and emails. Some people get really upset about it, and I understand that, and we tried to do our best with everyone to manage that. And I get it, people get upset, it's fine. But, one of the things that I'm sure people may or may not know is about the setup that we did. We literally were ready for that race. All of the team had got it together, everyone was there, like we even had all the timing gear ready, we were ready basically. Not only do you have to pack that down, but once we pack that down, we have to bring it back to my place and set it all back up to try to dry everything out. I mean, it was weeks of work. So we're just as disappointed because we couldn't get the event on. But I guess the plus side, when you look at it, is we came back and set up and we got that day like we had. I guess there's always that rainbow. You know, you got to go through the storm to see the rainbow kind of moment. So, you know, and everyone, when that basically went to shit, we were on the phone immediately, so to speak, straight away. And I reckon within, 24 hours would have been possibly less from the moment we had to call that off. We were able to bring that new date in. And I just think that that's a reflection of everyone that's involved with the event, like, you know, from toilet hires to first aid, all the vested parties like councils, SEQ Water, national parks.
Yep.
We'd send an email and they'd all answered us by the next day to say, yep, that's good. You know, we're supporting all that. And then Torella, you know,
Yep.
they had to do adjustments and stuff like that. And, you know, they're just really good to be able to be there and host an event at such an amazing place. Yeah, so there was a lot involved. We've been having to move that event, and
yeah, we apart from handing out finishers prizes, we ran the event twice. It was like, so anyway, it's all part of the learning curve, and you know, we hadn't had to deal with anything like that before, so it was yeah, just another bit of experience for everyone. And then I don't know if we want to broach this subject, but obviously talk about sliding door moments. Moving into June may have opened our eyes to a few things. We're always trying to pick a date in the calendar, right, that doesn't step on everyone's toes. Not everyone checks those dates before they put their events on, but we got a lot of feedback around the new date. We might open it up to the community and put a poll out there. And
yeah, I think so. And I mean,
see what everyone thinks.
Yeah, no, we want to try and guide our events based on how people feel. I mean, it's all about that at the end of the day. So, you know, we want to hear. We can't always implement every idea. It just won't happen.
Yeah.
But we really love all the ideas because it triggers other ideas. So we're really open to hearing what you guys say. We just I mean, for me, I'm going to speak for myself. I personally just love the trail. I love watching people out there doing that. And we've had a few emails about people that have had their first ever trail and how much they love that. And for me, when I see that sort of feels like a mission accomplished for me. So that's my personal take on that.
Yeah, I've changed my thought process because it was like, well, we live in Queensland and like this is it. It's hot. Let's just deal with it, you know. But yeah, it's definitely changed my perspective on things. And obviously, the date was still well supported in June. There's some bigger events in May that we thought might interfere with us, but it obviously hasn't. So yeah, we'll keep an eye out for a poll coming very soon. And
let us know in the survey. Give us your feedback on whatever you feel like. We're open to negative as well as positive. So whatever you kind of can see, you know, your eyes might see something that we can't, and we appreciate it. So,
yeah, please just if you've got a few minutes to spare, the more responses we can get to the survey, the better. To help make the event better for everyone. So
yeah, mate, we've got events coming up as well. We've got Rainbow Beach on the 2nd of August, and mate, I've got to say, we got rid of medals in a lot of our, well, I mean, the beer thing was a winner. I noticed there was a lot of beer in those bloody beautiful steins and mugs and cups and all the different varieties of things that we had there at the finish. So I think that's way better than medal those cups. It's a trophy, mate.
Well, you've used it a lot more than you're going to use your medal. So,
yeah. Well, I'm really liking. Well, just back to Rainbow Beach. There's about 50 spots left. It might even be under that now. There's less than 50 spots left. Yeah. So that's filling really fast at Rainbow. But what I've got a kudos to you, mate, for the giveaway there. I mean, it's kind of been my favourite. I'm sure there'll be some people that may not. But I personally think that you let everyone know. I think it's a cracking one.
Yeah, I've got it in the car. I should have brought it in, but maybe it should be a surprise. No, we've been working on some awesome dry bag / drop bags for everyone. So a nice 20-litre dry bag that is going to be the giveaway. We'll get some photos up once the majority of them get delivered in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, I think it's going to be a handy, useful finisher gift rather than the medals. I think, we mustn't have done a medal for, what, about 7 years?
Yeah, it would be now. But that, as a memento, that one, when I seen it, I thought, the idea of you've designed it purposely for that.
Yeah.
Because, you've got the sliding where you can put your name and stuff into a little clear sleeve that's numbered up. You can put your name and number and then remove it. You can, use that bag all the time. Even the fold down parts to keep bloody water out. I'm like, mate, This is wicked. And it's so, I can see myself using that no worries all the time.
Well, if I'm being honest, we've done it that way because you're not going to forget to pick your drop bag up if you've got one, because we end up with so many drop bags getting left behind, and I don't think anyone's going to leave these behind. So
I'll tell you what, they definitely cost a lot more than a medal, but I'll tell you what, I'm determined to try as best we can to be, at least give something that I feel like you can use it, and it's not just a waste. So, mate, I think it's brilliant. So I'm looking forward to Rainbow, and I'm sure there'll be a couple. Well, there better be a spare one for me. I'll be pissed, but
Yeah, I'll pull some strings for you, mate.
Thank you.
Then obviously the big one in October is Blackhall, and there's still a fair few spots in the 100k especially. 50k is getting full, and the 21k is sold out.
I think the 100k might be nearly. We're starting to push to only 100 spots left.
Okay, yeah.
I think it's under that now because it's. I had a look the other day, and I'm pretty sure that's gone over 200 now in the 100. So we'd only have under 100 spots left in that. So, and don't forget too with the Blackhall early bird finishes. We'll release this hopefully today or tomorrow. So probably about another 14 days, I think it is.
Yeah.
Till early bird finishes. So if you're looking to get in, jump in early. Maybe we should talk a little bit about, before we wind up, early bird prices, why they're done, and I can tell you why they are for me.
Yep.
One of the things is when Simmo's designing shirts and getting these organised, if we don't know people's sizes, we're just trying to kind of guess, forget patterns and stuff, and it just the cost of the event just goes up dramatically when we have to order things late. So the earlier that people can enter, they've made that decision, it just makes it so much easier. And this will be for races across the board, so much easier for race directors to be able to order gear. So for us, it's to try and get people in earlier so that we can do the ordering and, manage that as best we can without the waste.
That's probably one of the primary reasons, and the waste especially. So it's... on the shirts, Win Republic, we've already had great feedback on the quality of these shirts.
Mate, these are awesome.
Win are a local Noosa company operated by Luke and Beth McKenzie, and they're going to be doing the Blackhall shirts for us this year. So another quality shirt, they're worth $50.
Oh,
so
they're so
good. Yeah, I've been running in them for a few months just to make sure it's what we wanted, and
we had a lot of commentary on the quality of these over the weekend, and this is the first time I've put one on, and geez, I tell you, they're the stuff. I'll be running them this weekend, that's for sure.
Oh yeah,
mate.
So the Blackhall shirt design will be getting released a bit closer to race day, but we're all systems go.
Yeah. So any final thoughts, mate, on the weekend?
No, I'm just so stoked, mate. It just went so well. Just to see so many people smiling, having a good time. It was good for Torella, business-wise. It's great to be able to give them a big day. Food vans did well. The coffee lady was thrilled with how well things went there. Course records, engagements. I didn't have to do a shoey because I forgot.
That would have been the best one to do.
Yeah, so just super grateful to everyone for supporting the revised date due to the weather, and grateful to be on the team working with such a classy bunch of fellas and ladies, and we'll see you at Rainbow.
I've got nothing more to say. Thank you so much, guys. We'll see you at Rainbow.